Welcome to The Explainer. You ever wonder how your favorite game just knows where you left off? Or how Instagram can pull up your friend's profile in like a split second? Well, today, we're going to look at the incredibly powerful, but actually super simple language that makes all of that happen. And trust me, it's way easier to understand than you might think. I mean, just stop and think about it for a sec. Every single post you've ever liked, every level up on your character, every friend you've added, it's all just data. So how does all of that information stay perfectly organized and ready for you instantly? The secret is a language called SQL. And honestly, the best way to get it is to just picture a giant, super organized digital filing cabinet. This one simple idea is the key, and I promise it's going to make everything else just click into place. So let's break this down. The entire database, that's the filing cabinet. Inside that cabinet, you've got drawers. We call those tables. Now, each drawer holds individual file folders, and we call those rows. And finally, on each one of those folders, you've got labeled sections for specific bits of info, like name or age. We call those columns. See? Simple. Okay, so let's start with the basics. How do we actually manage all the file folders inside one of these drawers? This is going to cover the most common things you'd ever really need to do with data. So, imagine a new player signs up for your game. You need to create a brand new file just for them and slide it into the player's drawer. For that job, you've got the insert command. It does exactly what it sounds like. It inserts a new file. Okay, so here's a little peek inside our customer's drawer before we do anything. Right now, you can see it's holding 3 file folders for existing customers: Sam, Ram, and Pam. Now, to add our new customer, we give the filing cabinet a very, very precise instruction. We say, insert into the customer drawer a new file folder and put these values in this exact order: a customer ID of 4, the name Sam, age 42, the city Pune, and a salary of 10,000. And just like that, it's done. A brand new file folder for our second Sam is created and neatly placed right in the drawer. It really is that fast and that precise. But, mistakes happen. We all make typos. So what if you put the wrong information into a file? You don't have to throw it out and start all over. You just need to correct that one existing file, and that's where the update command comes in. All right, so let's look at that new file we just made for Sam, the one with the ID number 4. Uh-oh, looks like we actually misspelled his name, and we got his age wrong. We definitely need to fix that. Now, look how specific this command is. We're telling the system to update the customer drawer. Then we set the new values. The name should be Sam, and the age should be 32. But here's the most important part, that where clause. It tells the system to only make this change where the customer ID is exactly 4. This is so crucial. It's what stops your banking app from accidentally giving your money to someone else. So the main takeaway here is we've gone in and surgically corrected the information in one specific file folder without touching any of the others. The file for Sam is now totally accurate, and the rest of the drawer is completely unaffected. Precision is everything. Over time, some information just isn't needed anymore. A customer leaves, an account gets closed. You need to get rid of that file. But this isn't just tossing it in a recycling bin. This is like putting it through a digital shredder. For this, we have the delete command. So here's our drawer again, holding all 4 of our files: Sam, Ram, Pam, and our newly corrected Zam. Let's just pretend Pam is no longer a customer, and we need to remove her record for good. And just like with update, we have to be incredibly specific. The command says delete from the customer drawer, but only the file where the customer ID is 3. That where clause is your safety net. Seriously, without it, you could accidentally shred every single file in the whole drawer. And poof, Pam's file is gone. It's not hidden, it's not archived. It has been permanently erased from the drawer. All that's left are the 3 remaining files. Okay, so up until now, we've just been managing the files inside the drawer. But what if you need to change the actual drawer itself? What if your whole filing system needs a remodel? Well, for that, we're going to need some power tools. Our main power tool here is the alter command. It literally lets you change the structure of your drawer. So you could add a new labeled section to all the folders at once, maybe a spot for country. You could rename a section that's already there, like changing city to location. Or you could just remove a section from every single folder, like if you decide you don't need to track salary anymore. All right, now we get to the two most powerful commands in our entire toolkit. I want you to think of these like the giant, scary red buttons from the movies. You need to be absolutely 100% certain before you press them, because there is no undo button. And this right here highlights the absolutely critical difference between truncate and drop. Okay, so truncate is like a magic empty button. You press it, and every single file inside a drawer is instantly vaporized. Whoosh! You're left with a perfectly clean, empty drawer ready to be used again. But drop is the demolition crew. It doesn't just empty the drawer. It takes a sledgehammer and smashes the entire drawer into splinters. The drawer itself is gone forever. So, as you've seen, these commands give you total control. You can create information out of thin air, you can modify it with surgical precision, you can delete it piece by piece or just wipe it all out in a flash. You can even remodel to very structure that holds all of it. That is a serious amount of power. So let's do a quick recap of your new superpowers. Insert lets you create a new file. Update lets you edit an existing one. Delete lets you shred a single file. Alter is your remodeling tool for the whole drawer. And of course, truncate and drop are your big red buttons for either emptying or completely demolishing that drawer. And this is why this all matters so much. Understanding these commands is the first step to building pretty much anything in our digital world. A social network, a complex video game, a massive scientific database, you name it. These are the fundamental building blocks. So the real question is, now that you have the keys, what would you create?